Chapter 17.4, Solving Quadratic Equations by Using the Quadratic Formula. Some of you have been waiting for this. You've known it's been in existence, so now it's officially caught up with us in the higher course on page 257. Well, before I mention the quadratics formula, let me just give you a quadratic equation. Imagine something like this. Let's just put it in yellow then. Imagine something like this. I don't know, 2x squared plus 3x minus 8 equals 0, and we're told to sort of solve it one way or the other. I mean, I don't know if it can be solved. I'm completely making it up. All quadratics will form a general equation of this kind of form: ax squared plus bx plus c. Alright, and that can be solved. Well, that can't, there's no numbers there obviously, but what I want to show you is that the a relates to the number in front of the x squared, the b relates to the number right in front of the x, and the c relates to the number after the x's. So here we have, for example, a is 2, b is 3, and c is, be careful, minus 8. Okay, minus 8 is c. Not c is 8, c is minus 8. Just pick another one, again completely made up. Minus 3x squared minus 7x plus 4 equals 0. Again, I don't know if it can be solved. I'm not going to try. I'm completely making it up. What I'm saying to you is that a is minus 3, b is the number in front of x, minus 7, not 7, and c is positive 4. So what's the big deal? Well, let's just change colour again, because this is the crunch point. I can solve quadratic equations by, of course, completing the square. We did that before, Unit 2, by factorising. And here's the third method that's still on the syllabus. There is a fourth way, but I won't even mention it. So this is using the formula. Here's the formula. To get the value of x, we do this: minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2 lots of a. Now remember, the b is the value in front of the x, the b squared is obviously b squared, the a is the value in front of the x squared, and the c is the little part at the end that's not attached to any x squareds or x's. Alright, so in order to solve a quadratic equation that can be solved, you substitute the three values, in this case 2, 3 and minus 8, or minus 3, minus 7 and 4, into this equation, into this quadratics formula, and you just work it through. It's complicated, but you've got a calculator, and the reason you get two answers is because of this plus or minus affair. So there are two routes. One route goes minus b plus b squared minus 4ac rooted all over 2a. That gives you one answer, and the other answer would be minus b minus the b squared minus 4ac all over the 2a. Okay, so this one change here, whether we add this part or subtract this part, this is how we get two answers. Alright, and so that's an introduction to the formula. Now let's just try and solve a really easy one, and then we'll maybe pick up some more dangerous one in a second video. So back together then. Question 1, page 257. I don't know, let's just look at C. This is what C says. I've got 2x squared. It's getting very, very glitchy. I might have to just pause for a minute. Okay, so I've got 2x squared minus 7x plus 4 equals 0. So what have I got? I've got my a's worth 2, so if I write this out first, then there's less chance of making a mistake, and my b is worth minus 7, and my c is, it takes the value of 4, positive 4. Let's just substitute carefully. So I've got x equals minus b. Well, minus b is going to be minus 7. Okay, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 7 squared, minus 4 times a, and my A is worth 2, multiplied by C, and my C is worth 4. Okay, so close that off and then divide all that by 2 lots of A, which is 2 times 2. Again, calculator is allowed, just reach for mine. So I'm going to work it out nice and fresh, and this will be the end of the first video anyway. Right, well, minus 7 is basically plus 7, so there's your 7. I can go plus or minus the square root of, well, minus 7 squared is 49, minus 4 times 2 is minus 8, minus 8 times 4 is going to be negative 32. Again, I'm allowed to use a calculator, and 2 2s are 4. So here are my 2 roots. I'm going to go for 7 plus whatever the root of, what's that? 49 take away 32. Basically the square root is 17, clearly it's a third, and then divide by 4, or I can go for, well, I must go for both. 7 take away the square root of 17 divided by 4. Let's just jump straight into the answers there. Okay, so it'll be 7 plus root 17 equals, then divide that by 4. So my first answer is 2.78, and the question says 2dp, so that's okay. That's the 2 decimal places. That's one value of x. As you can see, it will be impossible to factorize that, because you won't get how can you get answers which are not whole numbers, or even at least 1 decimal place answer like 1.5, which is quite easy, but you're not going to be able to. I mean, listen, this actual answer is 2.780776. Basically, it's probably a non-terminating decimal, so you need the formula to actually use it as a means of solving this quadratic. Besides, it's in this chapter. This is the method that we're practicing at the moment. And the other one's going to be 7 take away the square root of 17. Press equals, then divide that by 4. Do that again. 7 take away root 17 equals, and divide that by 4, and I have got 0.71, so that's my second root, or second calculation, or second answer. So 719 becomes 72. That's the 2 decimal places. Alright, so that's an introduction to the formula. I've introduced you to the A's, the B's and the C's, and how the whole thing fits together. That's the previous page there. You need to study that. The formula there will always be given to you in an exam. You don't have to memorize it or learn it. Just use it competently. If this was a chapter on merely substituting values into a formula, then this is all it is. Just make sure you put the A in the A, the B in the B, and the C in the C. Watch out for this difficult minus 4AC bit, especially if, for example, you get 2 minuses working together. We'll come on to one of those, but that's it for now. You've got the formula, you've got 2 solutions, it works. So I'll sign off for now and just do a couple more in another video.